Hi guys, welcome back. It's Arlene. I just wanted to briefly give a quick little intro before I show you the video that's about to be seen right now. I had gone on a camping trip back in like September and I had so much footage. It was only one night and like one day because it was for a weekend, but I got so much footage and I tried editing it and it was like 88 minutes long and I'm like, this is not gonna work. This is way too long. So I just got really busy with life and kids and work and kind of fell into a little bit of a slump for a little while, but I decided to just not post that video because I haven't even finished editing it. And instead of making an 88 minute video, I'm just gonna post it in sections and segments. So if it seems to pick up randomly out of nowhere and then just abruptly ends without me saying, thanks for watching, please don't forget to subscribe, it's because it's just bits and pieces of my life that I'm just sharing with you guys so you guys can, see what I've been up to. And it's gonna be several of them coming out because I just feel like I've abandoned my following. It's a small following, but I was on a roll for a little while there. And I just abruptly stopped and I'm sorry. So I want to show you guys, what I've been doing. So stay tuned. And since I'm not going to say it at the end, please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye. Morning. So it is bright and early and bushy-tailed. It is 7:27 in the morning. My intention was to leave earlier at 6, but I ended up waking up at 6. And it is pure coincidental that I'm wearing the same tank top as my last little car adventure. I have 3 colors of this same top, a beige one, an orange one, and this one, and I've worn them. And no, I'm not gross. I don't just wear the same thing every single time. It just so happens that those are dirty and this one's clean. Anywho, I am hitting the road. Today is Saturday morning. I had to work yesterday on Friday. I couldn't get the day off. So instead of leaving on a Friday early in the morning because I couldn't get the day off and staying 2 nights, I'm leaving on a Saturday early in the morning and staying 1 night. I am going to Flagler Beach. Flagler Beach is a little north of Daytona in Florida, and there is a campground in that area. It's actually a state park campground. It's called Gamble Rogers Memorial Recreational State Park. Sorry, it's just it's so humid and muggy that like my windows are so foggy because I have my AC on. And it's an RV park. You can also tent camp there. But this time I'm going solo, like 100% solo. My girls are not with me back here, as you can see. I should have shown you my car setup, but I have my backpack here, Benny the backpack. I have a bag with food. I have my water at the bottom. And then back there is this cool new thing that you will see later. It's like think of like a cushiony chair that you would put in your living room, but without legs. So it's basically like a tri-fold sort of mattress, and it folds out to be long enough to be about 6 feet, and it's about 30 inches wide. So when you fold it up, it looks like a seat, like a chair that you would place on the ground. And when you open it up, it's a sleeper, sofa chair sleeper. So the reason I did that, I'll show you later my setup, is because since I'm camping alone, I got rid of that big tent. I sold it. I mean, I lost probably $100 on what I paid for versus what I sold it for, but it was very difficult to set up by myself, and if my girls weren't going to enjoy camping, I'm not going to force them to do it. I'm not that kind of parent. I mean, I have already taken them on two camping trips. They've gone on several camping trips when they were younger with me and their dad. And if they're just going to roll their eyes and stay in the tent all day, especially now that I have an AC unit and it's not that hot, they're not going to come to the water springs or go on the hikes or anything. They don't need to come. They can just stay home. I don't know. Don't judge. If you think that makes me a bad parent, I just don't think it's cool to force kids to do things they don't want to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be forcing them, but they make it hard. So maybe I will bring them in a future trip, but I want to be able to enjoy myself. And having, teenagers complaining about everything all the time is not enjoyable, and I want to be able to take a solo trip. So that's what today is. And I'm actually going on another one, not next weekend, but the weekend after that, because next weekend the girls are with me. And we do fun stuff here around town in Miami, but a lot of times they're like, when are we going home? They just want to go home. So, when I go out on my adventures, I tend to do it alone because they're homebodies. I mean, I get it. I was a homebody when I was a teenager. I was always like, when are we going home? It's an age thing, I think. They're looking for comfort. They're looking for security. And I'm looking for adventure now. So there's a few places I want to stop at on the way. So we're looking at about a 3.5 hour drive. Not bad. I could have sworn it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6 hours, but I guess not. So that's fantastic. I have my coffee. I have my water. I have my AC unit. I have all my cooking gear. I have a new tent that is a pop-up. I don't have to put any poles on there and like stretch or pull out any poles so they snap into place. Some of those poles with the humidity in Florida were getting like wet and slippery, and you have to pull them apart. It's supposedly an easy setup, but when you pull them apart, they snap into place, and then there's a button you push to like close them. And I was having a hard time because my hands were sliding around because they were wet. No matter how much I would try to dry them up, they'd get wet in like 2 seconds. And so even pushing the button to close them again, the humidity, there was already like a little bit of a rusty feel going on inside the pipes, the tubes, that when you push the button to close them, I just knew that it wasn't going to last very long. So this is a pop-up, and it's a 7 foot, 7 by 7 by 7, basically. 7 feet high, 7 feet wide, 7 feet long. And all you got to do is when you open it, there's like a rubber band kind of thing around it, an elastic band. Be very careful because that thing opens up violently. So just kind of throw it in the air, like away from you, and it's just going to pop up and open. And then you can pick it up and just kind of like, position it where you want it to be. And it's a tailgate tent. So it has a section that attaches to the back of the SUV. And so my SUV, my car, when I put the seats down with that chair cushion that turns into a sleeper, is going to be where I'm going to sleep. And my AC unit is going to be at the foot of the bed, or rather near the back of the vehicle, close to where the trunk opening is, the tailgate. And then I'm going to have the exhaust and the electrical cable sticking out through the side. And when I go to zip myself in, it has 2 layers. It has a mosquito net, and it has an actual like regular like wall tent layer. But for extra insulation, maybe I'm being a little too extra here, I don't know, I went ahead and I also got, it wasn't too expensive, a simple tailgate tent, meaning the kind of tent that you just you put around the back of your car, and it just has a cover. So like you can roll it up and have the back of your car open, and when you're ready to go to sleep, you need privacy, you can roll it down. And it also comes with a mosquito net layer and a regular layer. So I'm gonna have like 4 layers because I have the regular tailgate that I'm gonna put on, and then on top of that, I'm gonna put the pop-up tent and also attach the tailgate portion of the pop-up tent as well. So my door is gonna have 4 layers. I wanted to try to keep as much of that AC inside the car as possible. And then in the pop-up tent, I got like a little cheap area rug that I found on Temu. It's washable, you can throw it in the machine, but it's like big enough to occupy most of the space. It's like a 6 by 7, so it'll occupy, the full length, but not the full width. So then that side over there that is just gonna have the tent floor is gonna be where I'm gonna put my kitchen stuff, because I wouldn't want anything greasy or anything, foodie to like land on the rug. So the rug makes it so that it's softer, because in the last camping trip, there was a lot of rocks underneath us. So no matter how many layers, I put 2 layers of tarp on the ground and then the tent, and I could still feel the rocks. Like walking around barefoot in my tent was painful. So I didn't want that this time. So I have my 2 layers of tarp I'm gonna put on the ground. Although I think this one, since it's a beach, is gonna be more sandy than anything else. But still, I invested in that little rug for future other camping trips when I perhaps might have gravelly, rocky, or pavement type of, slab flooring at the campsite. So with all that said, we're 8 minutes in and I haven't even showed you anything yet of my camping trip. So I'm just gonna drive and enjoy my drive and enjoy my music. Unfortunately, I can't play music while I record myself. I don't know how some people do that. I guess they have 2 different things. They have a camera. I just use my phone. I mean, I have a camera, but it's not that user friendly. Like, the battery dies quickly. It's good for like recording yourself at home when you have it on a tripod and it's plugged into the wall. But to take it on the road, it's just not that great. Anyway, I guess these people, they play their radio or they play their Spotify and then they have their GoPro or a different phone or a different camera and they're like recording themselves while they're driving and listening to music and having a good time. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't even have a camera on my dash to be able to show you like my road. So if I do that, I'm just literally like picking up the phone and swapping the camera to like flip that way and holding it up. So I'm just gonna drive because I want to be safe. I'd rather get there alive. And I am gonna blast my music and I am gonna have a good time while I drive. That's part of the enjoyment of this. I think I see a tire on the road. Super dangerous. And when I get there, again, I've once done a setup video where I set up my tripod and I recorded myself setting up everything, but it takes so long, it occupies a lot of memory and space on my phone. So I may not do that either. I may just set it all up and show you guys the final setup. And if you guys want me to show you a video of how I go about setting things up, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can finagle something. I can delete old things and like edit that video so that it's broken up into smaller chunks and then kind of glue it back together, speed it up, do something. But my campsite's not going to be available till 3 because that's typically how check-ins for everything is. And checkout is at 1, which I was surprised because I've been to campsites where checkout is at 10 a.m. or 11 or even 1. I'm sorry, 10, 11, or 12. This one's at 1, so that gives me plenty of time. However, I am very, very close to De Leon Springs, and I love spring water. I'm not staying at that campsite. I didn't want to go to De Leon Springs because I looked at it on the map. I'm like, damn, that's far. Like, I thought the drive was going to be really far. It's actually not. It's only 48 minutes inland, but I'm going along the coast, the east coast of Florida, and where I'm going to, well, my first stop is... It's 3 hours and 37 minutes because I'm stopping at this place called Turtle Preserve. I don't know. It just looked really cool in the pictures. I think it's just like a state park. It doesn't have a campground, but it's on the water. And it might be a nice little place just to stop and like take a look around, take pictures, visit, see what it's, explore, which is what I essentially love to do. I'm just exploring. And then there's another little park near where I'm staying called Bullo something, and then there's like a historic site area, and then there's like a park area, and there is an RV park near there as well, but then that's like minutes away from where I'm gonna stay. So I'm thinking on the last day, which is tomorrow, when I pack up camp and I am ready to go, I can probably hop on over to De Leon Springs. They do all these springs. You don't have to just camp. You can pay a price for a day pass. And a lot of times they're like $6. So I may not be there the whole day, but to stop in there for a few hours, maybe swim in the spring, snorkel, take a quick look around, and just park in the regular parking lot. I'm not camping there because I do have to come back home on Sunday because I go back to work on Monday. So today is going to be about Flagler Beach. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm going to see. That's where I'm going to be. And I'm hoping the lady on the phone for the campsite told me that sometimes when you get there, you stop at the ranger station and you can check with them. And sometimes your campsite is available early. But if not, there is regular public parking that I can park at. and I can go to the restroom and switch on and put on my swimsuit, grab my beach bag, and just head over to the beach. Or I could walk the trails that they have, because they do have nature trails. They also have a riverside where people load their canoes and kayaks. I would totally kayak if they rented kayaks. I don't have my own kayak. I don't have a kayak roof, and I'm not interested in buying any of that right now. A, because money. B, because I don't have space and storage for something like that. C, not a fan of the whole inflatable thing. There are some that fold open and close like a little suitcase, but they also cost like $400, and I don't have a roof rack. It just doesn't make sense. If I ever want a kayak, I'll just go somewhere where I can rent one, and that's that. Not everything has to be purchased. So, they don't have rentals though. But there is going to be a place that I'm going to go to in a few months that has a kayak rental, and that's going to be fun. But I prefer to do that more in the winter months, because you get a little wet, but you don't get that wet. It's not like you're swimming or snorkeling. So when it's hot and it's summer, I want to get in the water. I want to swim. I want to snorkel. I want to sunbathe, especially since this is a beach. When I go to a spring, a lot of times there isn't a whole lot of sun, and the water's nice and cold and refreshing. It's great for just swimming and refreshing from the heat and snorkeling. But it's September 14th. And we're in Florida. It's still hot, it's still humid, but it's no longer hot like you're in hell. It's hot like you're in a steam room. So it's wet and muggy and humid and warm, but like for example, right now it's 85. On a typical like June, July, August summer day, it'll be 95. So it might get higher later on in the day, obviously, but we're gonna be in a beach, and that's what you want in a beach, right? A nice warm day to cool off in the water. Anywho, like I said before, I'm gonna get back to driving, and I will show you guys what I see when I get there, wherever it is that I stop at, whether it's the Turtle Preserve or the Willow Park or wherever I go. If I see something cool and interesting, stay tuned. You'll probably see it right about now. Almost there. 10 minutes, 4.8 miles. Alright, so I got my campsite information. It's gated and locked. And here we are. There's boardwalk access to the beach. The right side are sites that face the beach, but there's a lot of foliage, as you can see, so it's kind of hard to see. And the left side behind it is just the main road. It's pretty full. My site is 26, all the way in the back, next to the dumpster, which is great. But, oh look, you can see a little bit of the beach there. I'll show you the beach as soon as I get there. Let me just get set up. So this is site number 16, and mine is 26, so it's after the bathhouse. So that up ahead, oh look, you can see the beach. This is a beautiful spot right here. It's available. Maybe someone's coming. Let's see, this is the bathhouse, and my site is going to be just a little bit past it. Right after see, this is the dump station. So this looks like additional guest parking. I don't think that looks like a campsite. Yeah, those have like those little yellow things. This is my site. It's so freaking small. How am I gonna fit? Oh my gosh.